Welcome back to Silent Pew. If you're looking for an AR pistol or an SBR, they look similar, but the legal and practical differences matter. So whether you're looking to build one or buy one, you need to watch this first. Let's clear the core definition first because they drive everything else. A short barrel rifle, or an SBR, is a rifle with a barrel length of under 16 inches. It can also be a weapon made from a rifle with an overall length of less than 26 inches. So that means that there's basically two separate tests: barrel length of under 16 inches and an overall length of under 26 inches. Either one of those can start putting you into that NFA world. Now, before we go any further, comment down below whether you already know if this is a short barrel rifle or an AR pistol and why. Now, this is in fact a short barrel rifle, and there's a few key elements that stand out to me for me to be able to identify a short barrel rifle versus an AR pistol right off the bat, besides of course going through the NFA paperwork. The first thing that I'm gonna notice is gonna be the barrel length, which as you can see here is gonna be less than 16 inches. The second thing is gonna be a vertical foregrip, which you cannot put on an AR pistol. You can only put a vertical foregrip on a short barrel rifle. And then you're also going to have the stock back here versus a pistol brace. And you can see that this is a stock because it's solid, it's sturdy, and there is no physical brace that allows you to utilize this as a pistol. Now, for me personally, there's really three different ways that you can go about this. One, you can buy an AR pistol, keep the pistol brace on it, don't have a vertical foregrip, or you can even not have a pistol brace at all if you don't want anything on the back, and then just leave it as is. The second way that you can go about this is you can buy a short barrel rifle directly from your dealer as a short barrel rifle, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. And then the third way that you can go about this is you can do exactly what I did with this here. You can buy it as an AR pistol and then go through the process to actually convert it to a short barrel rifle, which at that point in time, you can then throw a stock on there, a vertical foregrip, or anything else that you want to do that you can legally do with a short barrel rifle because it is officially an SBR. Now, this brings us to the difference between a Form 1 and a Form 4. So let's start with the Form 4. A Form 4 is going to be very similar to how you purchase a suppressor. Doing a Form 4 means that you're buying a short barrel rifle directly from your dealer as an SBR, the way it comes from the factory. What they're doing is they're transferring that short barrel rifle to you through that Form 4. Now, if you purchase this as a pistol, whether that's today or it was 2 years ago, it really doesn't matter. Once you own a pistol, you would actually go through the Form 1 process if you'd like to turn this into a short barrel rifle. And that doesn't just go for pistols. You can actually take a full 16-inch rifle, and if you want to throw a shorter barrel on it, let's say a 10.3-inch AR barrel, you can actually do that as well after going through that Form 1, which allows you to make those changes because you're classifying it as an SBR. Now, we already briefly discussed this in another video about how to buy a suppressor, and I'll go ahead and link that down in the description below. However, whether you go through the Form 4 or the Form 1, you are going to have to provide your fingerprints, your photo, and any other supporting documentation as well. When you're going through that process, you're gonna have to choose whether you wanna do a trust or an individual. There are some pros and cons to each of those, so you're gonna wanna go ahead and take a look at what those are for yourself. But to break it down in basic terms, a trust is gonna be great if you want multiple people on that trust to be able to handle that SBR. If you're an individual, it's gonna be just identified as owned by you, so you're not gonna be able to allow other people to take that SBR out and shoot it without you. Now, all this can be done on the eForms website, which you can see on the screen now. And don't forget the one small minor detail, which is notifying your Clio by sending them a copy. No signatures required, but don't forget about that. Once you're done with all the paperwork, whether it's a Form 1 or a Form 4 through your dealer, you are gonna have to finish up with that $200 tax stamp, which is due at the time of this recording. However, keep in mind, January 1st, 2026, we are scheduled to reduce that $200 tax stamp to zero. There is still a tax stamp, but no tax stamp fee as of January 1st, 2026. Now, we're talking about AR pistols versus short barrel rifles and what you might want to go with. There's more than just the way that it feels or how it looks. There's some things you need to consider when making a decision on what you want to do for yourself. One of those things is traveling. and more specifically, traveling across state lines. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so remember, always check your state and local guidelines, but when it comes to NFA items, there are some requirements such as ATF approval and filling out a form to get that approval before you can travel across state lines, or it does become a big deal. Remember, when it comes to an AR pistol, there's no requirement from an NFA standpoint for any approvals or anything like that. But for a short barrel rifle, there is. So that is a key difference that you want to take into consideration. Before I let you guys go, I want to cover a couple quick do's and don'ts. First and foremost, if you've got yourself an AR pistol, make sure that 1, you don't put a stock on the back. Make sure that you leave that pistol brace out back if you're leaving it as a pistol. And 2, don't put a vertical foregrip on there. If you're gonna go with a pistol, you need to have no vertical foregrip out front. Remember, the only way that you can have those 2 things going on without it being a short barrel rifle is if you have a barrel length that's more than 16 inches long. Now, if you are going with a short barrel rifle and you're purchasing it from a dealer, fill out that Form 4, you're gonna be good to go. And then finally, if you are going to Form 1 a pistol or a rifle to convert it to a short barrel rifle, make sure you don't make any of the changes to the actual rifle itself until the form's been approved. So that means don't go throwing a stock on there, don't put that vertical foregrip on there until the form has been approved. If it hasn't been approved yet, technically you are creating a short barrel rifle without approval. The bottom line comes down to the AR pistol is gonna be easier to acquire, faster to acquire, and just overall more convenient with avoiding all of the NFA paperwork. The short barrel rifle's gonna put you into that NFA bucket. However, you're gonna be able to get rid of things like that flimsy pistol brace and put on a stock, vertical foregrip, basically make that rifle how you'd like to see it without having to worry about any restrictions in terms of how you build it out. Now remember guys, I'm not a lawyer, so make sure you guys check your state and local laws before trying to go through anything that we cover today. And of course, I really hope this video helped you guys out. If it did, consider giving it a like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and share it with a friend or two so we can keep pushing this channel. I'm so grateful for you guys tuning in each week. And as always, stay safe and shoot straight.